Our top story, U.S. President Donald Trump has taken his first steps as president, signing an executive order to roll back Obamacare. The order commands government officers to ease the economic burden of the Affordable Care Act. It's seen as a step towards a full repeal of the act, and Mr. Trump says the law should be removed and replaced simultaneously. Doing away with Obamacare, Mr. Barack's signature policy, is a top priority for the Republicans. They view Obamacare as a costly drift towards socialized European-style medical care. Now, Mr. Trump also signed confirmation papers for his picks for Defense Secretary James Mattis and Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly. They are so far the only confirmed members of his cabinet. Now, these executive orders taken by Mr. Trump came just hours after he was sworn in as the 45th U.S. president.
Do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
Close to 1 million people braved the rain to witness the historic moment. In his inauguration speech, he called for a unified country and pledged to restore power to the people, the same theme he used for his campaign rhetoric. He also vowed to end American carnage in his nationalist speech.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first. Every decision on trade, on taxes, on immigration, on foreign affairs will be made to benefit American workers and American families. We must protect our borders from the ravages of other countries making our products, stealing our companies, and destroying our jobs.
The ceremony was attended by former U.S. presidents. Former Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton also made an appearance. In his speech, Mr. Trump accused previous U.S. administrations of enriching Washington at the expense of struggling American families.
Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning, because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
On a more celebratory note, Mr. Trump and his wife danced to Frank Sinatra's My Way at the inaugural ball. The song had been chosen by Mr. Trump himself, and the president could not resist a joke with the crowd about his Twitter account.
Let me ask you, should I keep the Twitter going or not? Keep it going? I think so. You know, the enemies keep saying, oh, that's terrible. But, you know, it's a way of bypassing dishonest media, right? You go, wow, wow.
The inauguration of Mr. Trump was also marked with protests across the world. Thousands of Australians and New Zealanders kicked off the Women's March protest against Mr. Trump. Protesters are rallying for women's rights and against Mr. Trump's populist campaign. In the U.S. itself, hundreds of thousands of people are expected to pack into Washington later today for the march. Organizers say more than 600 coordinated protests are expected to take place around the world. World leaders have sent congratulatory messages to Mr. Trump. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's message was posted online minutes after Mr. Trump was sworn in. He expressed his heartfelt congratulations and said he looks forward to working with Mr. Trump to ensure the peace and prosperity of the Asia-Pacific region. Well, Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen also tweeted her congratulations just before Mr. Trump took his oath. She said democracy is what ties Taiwan and the U.S. together. She added that she looked forward to advancing friendship and partnership with the U.S. Well, just hours after Mr. Trump's inauguration, a senior Chinese official said relations between China and Taiwan this year will be even more complex and grim. The comments came from the ruling Communist Party's fourth-ranked leader. Now, there have been recent concerns that under the new administration, the U.S. is shifting its stance towards Taiwan. Chinese state media says it hopes the new U.S. administration understands the importance of relations with China, but that Beijing should prepare for the worst. A front-page commentary on the official People's Daily said both countries should not try to force each other into submission, but look for a win-win cooperation. It is normal for both countries to have disagreements, but it's crucial to manage and resolve them. Well, here at home, President Tony Tan Keng Yam and Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong have written congratulatory letters to Mr. Trump. In his letter, Dr. Tan congratulated Mr. Trump on his inauguration and reflected on how both countries have enjoyed a close military and economic partnership with good people-to-people ties. He also said he hopes both countries will be able to broaden and deepen their bilateral relationship going forward. In his letter, Prime Minister Lee said Mr. Trump had assembled a strong team and was confident he would be able to implement his vision of a stronger and more prosperous America. He added that both Singapore and the U.S. enjoyed extensive economic and business ties, citing the U.S.-Singapore Free Trade Agreement as a remarkable success. He also expressed hope that both countries will continue to build excellent security ties to tackle global threats like terrorism.